So, my name is Drew Ann Welch, and I am super excited to be at Moondance again. I've been at Moondance the last 2 years. I've been a presenter and just loved it, enjoyed it, and was so stoked when Kaylee and Linda reached out to me and asked me to come and present for this virtual Moondance. I love the idea that even though we're far away and we can't get together, we can still find a way to get together and enjoy our festival. So this is beautiful. Thank you to them. Um, for those of you who don't know me, I am the author of 13 books, self-published. What's funny is this workshop is about mindfulness and mindfulness meditation. I never considered myself someone who meditated ever. Like asking me to sit down and meditate like this. People laugh when they think about it. And I don't blame them because I'm not like that. I've got to be interactive. For me to sit and think for 30 minutes. I don't know if a lot of you are like that at all. But for me to sit and meditate for 30 minutes is like, oh, go fuck off, not happening. And that's really how I feel about it. Years ago, back in 2007, I met a girl named Carol Ann Anselmo, and her technique was called the HEAL technique. And what I learned in her technique is one of the techniques I'll be teaching you today, and it was a 13 breath sequence. The 13 breath sequence that I'll be showing you was, as far as I know, originally published by a man named Corey Herter, who now goes by several other names, and you can probably look up Corey Herter and G Breath and find him to look up more. But it's a 13 breath sequence, and it's designed to take you through the 4 basic brainwave stages and get you centered. But I'm getting ahead of myself. But so I found anyway through breath work, through simple breathing, that I was able to meditate. And then what I realized I took with all this pandemic stuff and we're going to talk about that, all this stuff that's just making us crazed right now, I decided to take a mindfulness meditation practitioner's course. And what I found was that everything I've been doing and everything I've been writing about and in all of my books is actually what you would consider mindfulness meditation. So it's kind of cool. Why do we need mindfulness meditation? Here's the thing. Our brains go like this. They're all over the place. They're scattered. It's confusing. And when we're living in a world like we're living in right now that is scattered and confusing, we find that our brains tend to shift more. In other words, we shift further away from being heart-centered and focusing on our purpose and what we need to do and where we need to focus. And it's easier to say, oh my God, what's that? Oh my God, what's that? Oh, did you see that squirrel? Oh, look at the butterfly. Hi, what are you doing? Oh, hi, person. How are you? Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you guys? Yes? No? Yes. Perfect thumbs up work for me. So in a time when everything is so scattered in our world and everything that we had become used to is gone, it's really important to pull back to mindfulness. And basically, the simplest way I can describe mindfulness meditation is much like when Eckhart Tolle talks about being in the now. Mindfulness brings us now, right here, right to this second we are right now. So as we say now and we focus together right here, we're being mindful. Mindfulness meditation is drawing our senses and drawing our thoughts to where we are now, rather than allowing our thoughts to go back to where we were in the past or to worry about where we're going in the future. And I used to think, and I used to see people, offering mindfulness meditation classes, and I used to think, wow, I don't think I could ever do that. I'm just not that focused. And realizing how simple it is, and realizing that I can come to you guys who might be like me and not meditate and teach you how to do this and how to focus your lives better. Because at the end of the day, it's all about focusing our lives. Buddha said thoughts are things. A spiritualist named John Wolfe said, if you can change a thought, you can change your universe. One thought can change your whole universe just by changing it. How do you change that thought? How do you change your universe? by being mindful, focused right here, focused in the center on your thoughts and where you're sending those thoughts and where we're going. There's a book. This book is fabulous. It is called It's called Healing with Love, a breakthrough mind-body medical program for healing yourself and others. Okay, it's a really long title. The guy's name is Leonard Glasgow, and he's a medical doctor. So he wrote this whole book, and it's not super thick. It's a couple hundred pages. This is what I like. This is one of the quotes from the book. Through the energetic pattern that we shape with our thoughts and emotions, we can support the natural healing process in ourselves and others. Since our thoughts and emotions are patterns of energy, which everyone's talking today about energy and everything like that, so we're all sort of in tune with that. And our bodies are intersecting fields of energy. The energy of our thoughts and feelings is quite capable of affecting our well-being, either positively or negatively. That's so important. In a time where our world is so confused and we are getting bombarded with so many conflicting ideas, it's causing us to have conflicting thoughts. It's conflicting our emotions. I think you guys will agree with this, right? Everything right now is putting our minds and our thoughts and our emotions in a state. And what that causes is stress. And when we have stress, our bodies have dis-ease. And we have dis-ease, either emotionally, it becomes eventually a physical dis-ease, which can lead to illness. Any questions about that so far? No? Agreements, disagree, making sense to you? So the question becomes, how, when I'm getting all of this input that makes no sense, how do I get to that mindfulness state? My answer is breath work. So you understand why breath work is important. I love having quotes about things here. There are 9 key functions of breath and breathing. And these are super important. And this also comes from that same book. First, breath and breathing, it provides nourishment to our cells because it gives us oxygen. So when we have oxygen, when we breathe, when we focus on our breathing, we increase our oxygen level. It also energetically charges the body because we're charging our cells with oxygen. Makes sense? It directs attention and helps us focus our attention. This is expressed through the energy flows. So where you think of energy flows where attention goes. It's an old saying that's been around metaphysically for years. If energy flows where attention goes and your attention is on how the breath feels when you breathe it in, how it feels when it goes down into your lungs, what your lungs feel like when you hold that breath, and then when it feels like when you release it, when you take that 1 second, and that's all it takes to do a mindfulness meditation, guys. Mind blown. I've just simplified your entire life. By focusing what it feels like, you bring your attention back to now, to yourself, and you improve your thoughts. So when we breathe, it allows us to gain information from the subconscious mind, because a lot of times when we do focused breaths, especially if it's a long focused breath sequence, it takes us sort of out of ourselves and away, and it'll take your focus, sort of shifts your consciousness, you know what I'm saying? So it alters things. So when we reflect on our feelings and thoughts by observing our breathing patterns, we become aware of the effects of certain feelings and thoughts. And that's super important. So part of bringing yourself back to center is, so you're watching your favorite TV show, right? Because we're all doing this now. We're watching something. And right at the best part of it, the TV comes across and it goes, breaking news. And you're like, oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, are you kidding me? I've got to do this again. Y'all know that? Got that feeling? How does that make me feel? If you can at that exact moment go, how does this make me feel? And focus on your heart, because where you're feeling it is in your heart. You're not feeling it in your mind. You're thinking it in your mind, but you're feeling it in your heart, which means you're feeling it in your body. And if you can at that moment go, okay, fine. So that big symbol there of breaking news, why does that make me feel so stressed and so out of sorts and so confused and oh my God, what are they doing now? How can I shift that? Well, I can shift that by turning off the TV. I can shift it by ignoring, by turning the volume down. Or I can shift it by saying, even though this is occurring, I allow that to occur outside of me. And I replace that feeling in my heart with ease. And that is a mindfulness meditation. Y'all can do that, right? Just take that second and focus in. Every time you focus in on the now and you focus in on exactly what you're feeling, how you're thinking in that now, you are practicing meditation. You are becoming more mindful. You are becoming more focused on you and not on everything around you. And when I started thinking about that, I was like, mind blown. Mind blown. I have been telling people for years, thoughts are things. What we think, we become. If we can focus our thoughts and focus on better thoughts, that's great. So there is a simple breathing method. We'll start with a simple, they call it box breathing. Any of y'all know that? Have you ever box breathed before? Done box breaths? It's a simple 4-breath sequence. They call it a box breath because it's simple. So you breathe in to a count of 4. And then you hold as you go across for a count of 4. Then you breathe out for a count of 4. And then you hold for a count of 4. And you do that whole breath sequence. So if you think of it like breathing around a box, and you do it 4 times. So you guys ready? Okay. I'm going to count for you. So we're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Y'all are doing great. 2 more. In, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Last one. Deep, deep breath in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. And now just take a deep breath and relax a second. So how muted me. How does that make you feel?
Very relaxed.
Very relaxed. Very focused?
Yes.
Awesome. Because that's what breath work is designed for. Yeah.
One of the, as I said, I'm a psychology grad student, and one of my best classes was the Buddhism and meditation. Yeah. And I mean, this just puts it right there, how they approach mindfulness meditation. I have never heard of the box method, but as soon as you explained it, is exactly what we do. I just never heard that term before. But to really, you know, narrow it down to the body, to be able to get within yourself, you know. The only other thing I was ever taught along with that was fill up your belly first before you fill your lungs, particularly with those lungs, so your belly breathing
Right.
really expands your lungs and allow you to get more air in. But other than that, it's an awesome type of meditation.
Thank you. And the Institute of HeartMath, which is, if you've never heard of them, please go check them out. The Institute of HeartMath says that basically what puts us together and what makes us work is our heart and heart-focused living. That the heart actually does more to control the brain than the brain does to control the heart. And their research is astounding. Institute of HeartMath, it's amazing. So what they have is a method called heart-focused breathing. And this is a great technique. So this is about taking your attention and focusing your breath in the heart area. So just like where he was talking about belly breathing and breathing deeper into your belly, we also want you to imagine you can breathe into your heart space. And they have an actual app you can use on their website that imagines breathing in through your heart, filling it, and everything else. And what I like that they do is they ask you to place your hand over your heart as you breathe so that it reminds you to focus your breath. And it's fabulous because when you take your hand, so if everyone takes their hand, I don't care if it's your right hand, your left hand, and you place it over your heart space, and you can put one hand over the other just as long as one hand is on your heart space. What you should feel is an immediate shift in your body because you're not operating out of just the ether and thought. Now all of a sudden you're operating out of, where's my hand? My hand is touching my heart. Oh, okay. And you can now feel your breath. And it should shift your focus slightly. You guys feel that? And when you breathe in and out now, or you speak, you can actually feel, and that, that's your essence. Your essence is in your heart. And so it's important for us to get back there. So I have 2 breath sequences I really want to do with you guys. And I have them both recorded, so hopefully the recordings play fine when I play them for you. And the first one is based on that 13 breath sequence, and I'm going to explain it a little bit. I always teach this. It's my favorite breathing method. It's based on 13 breaths, but it's based on pattern breathing. And pattern breathing just means that you breathe in a certain way. So the first way we're going to breathe is in the mouth and out the mouth. That focuses your brain waves to your beta waves, and it is about the physical. So you can either do the full 13 breath sequence, or you can breathe just in the mouth and out the mouth. So say you get up and you walk across the room and you stub your toe and it hurts really bad. That's a physical pain. If you stop and you do 13 breaths in the mouth, out the mouth, it will lower your physical pain. It works. The next part of the breathing sequence is breathing in the mouth and out the nose. This focuses on your emotions, and it's called alpha breathing. So you're at work, or you're in a Zoom meeting because we're not at work anymore, and a coworker really says something snarky, and you're like, and it hurts your feelings, and it hits you the wrong way. You know what I mean? And you get really emotional about it. So you breathe in the mouth and out the nose, and you count that, and you do that 13 breaths, and it will bring your emotional state back in order. Any overthinkers out there besides me? Y'all think too much? Oh yeah, absolutely. A lot of us are guilty of it. That means we're stuck in theta. That means we're stuck in thought brainwaves. We're thinking too much. To clear the theta state, or to improve your theta state so you can think more clearly, 13 breaths in the nose and out the nose. And even when you just do 1 or 3 of those, you can feel it bringing you out of that state in your brain. So the next breath state, they call it a spiritual breath. It's the delta breath. And that's in the nose and out the mouth. And what that does is it sort of pulls your spiritual self together. It's also what some people will call a gamma breath, but the gamma breath is the full 13 ending on the beta breath after it. The idea behind this sequence is to give you a tool that focuses you into every single brainwave state and brings you back into alliance. The full 13 breaths are called the gamma breath because when you breathe this sequence and end on that last breath, it brings you into a full gamma state. It actually alters your consciousness. And you kind of feel a little high and you feel really good. You guys want to try it? You ready? Why not, right? No harm. No harm, no foul. So what I'm going to do, because what I found was when I facilitate this breath, I don't get to breathe it. So I don't get half the fun. So I have a recording. We're going to hear a strange noise. That's my speaker waking up. And I'm going to click this in. And if you guys will just focus on the breath sequence.
Sit comfortably with your back straight and your hands, palms upward on your knees. Feel yourself relax. As we breathe in and out, we will be thinking, breathe in love and breathe out fear. Take a deep breath in the mouth. Breathe in love. Out the mouth. Breathe out fear. In the mouth. Breathe in love. Out the nose. Breathe out fear. In the nose. Breathe in love. Out the nose. Breathe out fear. In the nose. Breathe in love. Out the mouth. Breathe out fear. In the mouth. Breathe in love. Out the mouth. Breathe out fear. In the mouth. Breathe in love. Out the nose. Breathe out fear. In the nose. Breathe in love. Out the nose. Breathe out fear. In the nose. Breathe in love. Out the mouth. Breathe out fear. In the mouth. Breathe in love. Out the mouth. Breathe out fear. In the mouth. Breathe in love. Out the nose. Breathe out fear. In the nose. Breathe in love. Out the nose. Breathe out fear. In the nose. Breathe in love. Out the mouth. Breathe out fear. Deep, deep breath as big and deep as you can in the mouth. Breathing in love. Hold it. Feel it fill you for as long as you can. Hold it. Hold it. Release out the mouth. Breathe out fear. And now sit with that for a moment. Now we're going to breathe in And we're going to breathe out an Om. We're going to do this 7 times.
Breathe in, out the Om. In, and in. And in. And in. You guys are doing great. 2 more. In. And in.
Take a moment. Relax. Hold on to that calmness you feel in your body. Thank whichever deity you work with, or the universe, for this gift of unity, of oneness with yourself and all that is. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes.
And come back into your current time and space and just sort of relax. How was that? Good stuff, huh? Do you feel the shift? See how it shifts your consciousness? Because all you did, and I think that's a total of 6 minutes. That's a mindfulness meditation. You focused on your breathing. You focused on an intent for your breathing. The intent, because intent, as we know, and we've heard several times in many workshops today, intent is what helps to make everything flow the way we want it to. Breathing in love, breathing out fear. And the idea of the 7 ohms, I actually learned from, Sadhguru does a meditation in the Isha Society, where he does just the 7 ohms, but he does them super, super long and does another meditation after that. So I just sort of took that idea, the snippet, and I felt it worked together with it to keep you mindful and to sort of bring you back to where you want to be. Mindfulness, thank you. I'm glad it was great. Mindfulness meditation is about not letting anything take your mind from you. It's that simple. And the way to do this for yourself and in your life, especially in the trying times we are living in today, is to remember that all you have to do is take a deep breath and focus your hand on your heart, or do a breathing sequence. And you can take your brain and pull everything back together. I'm going to open up real quick. Are there any questions or comments? Go ahead and unmute yourself if you have a question or a comment. Yeah. Yes. You did. It's bringing you into resonance, basically. Right. Perfect. That was so well said. You're awesome.
I what you can some of the angelic teachings I have been a part of, you take that concept of breathing in love, and it's a heart centered taking in, taking in love, and you keep building it up, building it up, and building it up. And as an energy worker, you can release that into someone else as a healing, as a calming. We call it the wholeness blessing, and basically, it's that influx that you take in after you've gone through the process of going through that and calming and releasing your own stuff. You know, you can build that back up again and actually pass it on to someone else who might be full of anxiety or full of things, and it works wonderfully also, as a practical thing too. I mean, beside working on yourself, but as to helping others, it works great also.
And it does. And that's a good point. The idea is we want to help ourselves and we want to help others too. And so being able to find a way to take that energy into yourself, shift your energy. Because let's face it, when our energy is scattered, we can't help ourselves. If we can't help ourselves, we can't help anyone else. Because at the end of the day, you have to help you first. It's not selfish. It's not self-centered. There's nothing wrong with it. The idea is you have to be whole, whatever that is for you. You have to make yourself a whole being before you can live life to the fullest and help others. And that's a pretty dumbed down version of, you got to take it in and you got to do it for yourself. And I know some people, I've actually had healers come to me and go, oh, it's so selfish. And I'm like, it's not selfish to go and try to help someone else or to try to work with someone else without feeling that within yourself, without feeling that self-love, without feeling that self-care. That's selfish. And it's mean.
If you can't work on self and heal yourself however you can, my mind is you have no business working with anybody else as a healer.
Absolutely.
You have to be, heal thyself type thing first. Don't bring your caca to anyone else.
I like that. And it's true. And there are a million, God, I mean, if you look for metaphysical methods to heal yourself, you'll get like a million things on Google hits. And at the end of the day, it's about finding what works for you. And it was really cool for me to find out that a lot of what I've written is mindfulness meditation. My book, The Meditation Couch, is a mindfulness meditation. The Ego Warrior Handbook, I was looking through it yesterday. I'm like, this is a whole book. It's a 25-page book on mindfulness meditation practices you can use for yourself. So, it's really about going, hey, there's a million things we can do out there. So I'm looking at the time and I've got about 10 more minutes. I have one more breathwork meditation. I've always been fascinated. I was in the Huna class for a while there. I've always been fascinated not only with Huna, but also with the concept of Ho'oponopono and why that's important. And I was able to find actually Joe Vitale teaching it with Lou. I mean, it was just an amazing class, and it was under $100. And I went, I'm taking this class, and it was fabulous. And the meditation that Dr. Dr. Len, that's it. What he taught in there was he taught a 10 breath sequence, much like that 4 breath that we did at the beginning. This is 10. Breathing into a count of 10, holding to a count of 10, and going through. And I was amazed at not only the physical shift after going through the 10 breath sequence, but the consciousness shift. So you guys ready to breathe in and hold for 10? Thumbs up? Ready to try it? Why not, right? Okay, so this is a 10 breath healing sequence. You're gonna hear my little friend over here beep in an odd way. Was the volume okay? Could you hear everything all right? Okay, here we go.
This is a 10 breath breathing pattern. The idea is you breathe in to a count of 10, hold to a count of 10, exhale to a count of 10, hold to a count of 10, and repeat that 10 times. I will do all of the counting for you. All you have to do is listen and follow the direction. Let's begin. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. 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 Take a moment, process everything you're feeling. Allow yourself to sort of relax. Enjoy that higher vibration. Remember, you can do this any time of day and as many times a day as you want. As up.
Hey, so here we go. How was that? Good stuff, huh? They're just simple methods. At the end of the day, the simplest way to become more mindful and to make your life and your health better is to just stop, notice what you're thinking, put your hand on your heart, and be more heart-based. no matter where you are and what you're doing, if you're in the middle of a conversation with someone and you feel stressed, just putting your hand on your heart and rubbing the heart area, because that's where your thymus gland is. It's right above there. And just by doing that, it makes you feel better. When you do EFT and tapping, you can tap there lightly. It's a super quick, this is another one of those cheat codes to feeling better in a hurry. So you just take your hand, I'm hoping you guys can see it. You just take your hand, take your finger, and you just tap. You just lightly tap. It doesn't matter how many times, but by tapping there lightly, what you're doing is you're focusing your energy in and you're focusing on your life getting better. I want to thank you guys for coming to the workshop and for having me again here at Moondance. Both of those tracks are available on my Bandcamp page, and I will put it put the Bandcamp page over there. There's how you get to it, and you can download the tracks. I believe they're up for $1 each for a download, and anything you can do to support the local community at this point in time is appreciated. And those tracks you can listen to anytime. They're exactly what you just heard here. So they really help you work through it. And that way you don't have to counter think on your own. Are there any final questions before we go? Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you for your work recording and everything that you're doing for us.
And thank you very much for your presentation. It was totally awesome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate hearing that. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. There is so much more coming up, both in Discord and in Zoom, and tonight Mama Gina, and all kinds of stuff tomorrow. So please enjoy the rest of your Moondance. Thank you. I love you all.